Stealth Army, welcome back to another Minecraft video. I hope you're all doing great, having a wonderful day. Today, I want to talk more about the Warden and the Deep Dark. Now, this video doesn't pertain to tweets by King B Dogs. It's mostly about ideas I have for these two amazing features. Things I would like to see introduced in the Deep Dark biome, as well as added to the Warden. That's not to say that either of them require additional features. In my opinion, the Warden is already my favorite mob, and the Deep Dark is already the creepiest biome in Minecraft. But adding more can't necessarily hurt, so today we're going to be talking about ideas I have for these awesome features coming to part 2 of the Caves and Cliffs update. And feel free to share your ideas down below. What else would you guys like to see added to the Deep Dark biome, as well as the Warden? But before we kick things off, I want to say thank you guys so much for all of the crazy support lately. The Stealth Army is the best army in the entire Minecraft community. And shout out to King B Dogs for just being an incredible person, an amazing friend, and Minecraft is honestly in great hands. So if you're part of the Warden fan club, crush that like button for me. You already know the routine, you know the drill. Let's get straight into this video. So in terms of what we know, I feel like we know a little bit more about the Warden than we do about the Deep Dark. In fact, we've only really seen like a minute or two of the Deep Dark from last year's Minecon, so it's almost been an entire year since we've seen any gameplay footage of this biome, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you're like me and your imagination starts running wild once you start thinking about something you really enjoy, then you probably have some really awesome ideas as well. Now for the Deep Dark, I feel like yes, this has to be a biome that represents the Warden and its domain. It has to represent that feeling you get when you know you might be in danger. You know, it has to showcase what the Warden is all about in terms of it being a monster, a creature of the darkness, something that's ancient, something that's clearly from a different time and possibly even a different world. So there's a lot of possibilities, and I feel like there's a lot of freedom and range when it comes to the Deep Dark. Now, we already know there's going to be a treasure room or a loot room of some sort, a place where there's going to be chests possibly full of rare items, new items. I mean, you guys can speculate down below. There's a lot of cool things that we could probably see out of this room, but I also feel like there should be another room dedicated to the Warden, where the Warden lives. It's essentially its resting area. Now, I'm not saying the Warden sleeps. I highly doubt the Warden sleeps, but if it were to sleep, this is where it would go. Basically a den. So I think a cool idea would be if the Warden does defeat you, it will take one of your items and place it back in its den area, basically showing off that it did defeat you, like its own treasure item, except it's from you. And of course, it's probably going to be the rarest item, your netherite sword or your diamond pickaxe or something that is just extremely valuable to you, and it will place it back in its den area. Now, this can also be the area where you're going to find a weapon, a brand new weapon, something we've never seen before in Minecraft. It could be a scythe, it could be something else completely new, like a hammer. I don't know, you guys can share your thoughts down below, but I feel like that would just be a really cool area to explore, the most dangerous area in the entire Deep Dark biome, because the Warden will always go back to its den. If it loses sight of you, it will head back there immediately. So this is going to be a very dangerous place to explore. But let's actually talk about some ideas for the Warden. One thing I feel like the Warden should definitely be able to do is have a ranged attack. Now, we already know that the Warden is going to be deadly up close. In fact, I would go as far to say that if the Warden is near you or pretty much on top of you, you stand no chance. I don't think the Warden is designed to fight, and they've made that very clear numerous amount of times. Do not engage with the Warden. That's not going to stop anybody. Clearly, it's Minecraft. It's a game intended to do things that you feel like doing. However, this monster is clearly designed to sneak by, and they demonstrated that during Minecon last year. But I know we got a lot of rebels in the stealth army and just in the Minecraft community, but they showcased that, right? Netherite gear, the best gear out there, and you're still getting demolished. It's like not wearing gear at all. It's like if you were to wear no armor going into that battle. It probably doesn't even make a difference. However, I feel like in order to even go further and showcase that this isn't something you should be fighting, the Warden should have a ranged attack. Now, obviously, the Warden is already powerful. It's already a terrifying creature. But if they want to make sure that people are really not trying to fight this thing, I feel like the Warden needs some sort of ranged attack. Because if you have a really good bow, and especially if your accuracy is on point, eventually I can see people just spamming a bunch of arrows from 30-40 blocks away, and that shouldn't take too long, especially if you have a really good bow. But if the Warden has a ranged attack, you're probably not going to risk it, especially considering how fast the Warden can get on top of you, like how fast it can just move in the deep dark. Is that something you're willing to risk? And having that ranged move will definitely have more people considering different ways to approach the Warden outside of combat. So yeah, I think it would just be a great idea at this point if Mojang, KingBDogs, and everybody else working on this creature are really trying to make people sneak by it, not really resort to combat. Instead, just be sneaky, be quiet, be stealthy, and go get that treasure without awakening or disturbing the Warden. So the attack itself doesn't have to be something spammy or broken. In fact, it could have like a cooldown effect, so the Warden will slam its arms in the ground or slam them together, similar to what the Hulk would do, and that has like this whole radius effect, this sound wave effect that essentially just pushes you off whatever you're standing on, so similar to Punch, and create that pressure, right? The Warden is all about pressure, and especially if it knows where that sound, that noise is coming from, it's going to do whatever it needs to in order to get rid of the trespasser. So let me know how you guys feel about a Warden ranged attack, but let's go ahead and discuss more about the Warden and things I would like to see out of this mob, because they showcased that there's ways to distract the Warden without obviously getting destroyed, completely demolished, right? Using snowballs, trying to get it away from the area that it's currently in, hopefully without getting noticed, right? So I imagine there's going to be a lot of interesting ways to distract the Warden that we won't really know about until it's actually out. I think a cool idea would be to be able to bait the Warden away from a certain area. Maybe it's den, maybe the treasure loot room, but I feel like being able to bait the Warden would be another cool way to sort of sneak by it, to just approach the whole situation very differently than just combat. So maybe the Warden enjoys eating suspicious stew or even rotten flesh, possibly membrane. Like, there's a lot of cool ideas out there in terms of the type of things the Warden likes to eat. But I think that'd just be another cool way to distract the Warden and possibly sneak by it without fighting the Warden. That's the whole point, right? Do not fight the Warden. So what do you guys feel like the Warden should eat if it were to be sort of lured away? Now, some other things I would like to see out of the Deep Dark would have to be more mobs. Now, I'm not saying these mobs have to be incredible. They don't have to be something as important or as significant as the Piglins or the Strider. All I'm really looking for are small little creatures that would add to the eeriness, the spookiness that you'd get in the Deep Dark itself. So maybe bugs, things that are just crawling on the wall, possibly a snake, a new type of bat that is probably just as ancient as the Deep Dark itself. It will only add to that mood, right? That feeling that you'd get when you're entering its domain and you realize that this is not a safe place, especially considering that no other hostile mobs will spawn in the Deep Dark. I believe that was confirmed a while ago by KingBDogs. I'll have the tweet on the screen somewhere, especially having something that's gonna set off the skulk sensor. Like, that would just spook me out. I don't know about you, but having something that just sets off the skulk sensor and you have no idea what it was, if it was a bug or a snake or a new type of bat, that would literally freak me out. But I want you guys to share your ideas down below when it comes to the Warden in the Deep Dark. And let me know if you want to see a part 2. I can easily just share more ideas when it comes to these two amazing features that I honestly can't wait to finally be able to play with during the holiday season. So maybe we'll possibly see more during Minecon this year, fingers crossed, but no matter what, it's in great hands. Like, King B Dogs is going to kill it. I already know it's just going to come out solid. But as always, I want to say thank you guys, Notification Squad, y'all are the best, and I'll catch you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.